Hi, welcome to Founder Friday. I'm Amy Lupa, the founder of Relativity Sales, and it is my pleasure to provide you this episode. Today, we're going to be talking about how to dial in your Q2 sales performance. Even though we're in the month one of Q2, we get to really get laser focused on tightening up our deals. And how do we do this? We do this at the very beginning of the sales process. And this is where it's so important that you pay attention to how if you do have reps and you're coaching them as a founder, pay attention to how they're handling their discovery calls. And I want to show you a visual of the discovery call process very briefly while we talk about this. So the reps that sometimes are new, sometimes they just are programmed to sell features and start pitching right away to clients, right? We've all experienced it as consumers. We've also seen it in selling. They really shoot themselves in the foot, don't they? Because guess what? You don't give yourself time to really understand the client's issues. And guess what? The client's going to tell you a challenge that they're having or an issue that they're having because they don't just get on calls for the fun of it. They're getting on a call because there's something they want to uncover. But we have to go 2, 3, 4 layers underneath that to really understand how that plays into the organization, how that plays in with their overall strategy of their company. Even if you're selling to smaller companies and have smaller transaction of sales, I encourage you to get really, really, really good at creating urgency during the discovery call. Opening with a strong agenda and things like that is amazing. Asking questions, just like you're having coffee with a friend, to really understand and show them that you actually have an intention to learn about their business, not just sell your wares, is huge. It's going to create a whole new level of trust with your client. And then when you are talking with them and they're telling you these things, you're going to go ahead and summarize those findings for them. You're going to say, okay, what I hear from you is this. Am I on point? Do you agree? Am I accurate? And when they say yes, that's your first yes. The more yeses you can get throughout your sales call, the better. Then you're going to really empathize with the things that they're going through. You're going to start asking questions about how does this impact your business and get them to quantify it in ways that you can actually put a number to it, right? Because you want to understand, like, how big of an issue is this on the business, right? This all creates urgency. Now, some reps get really, really good at all of this, and then they stop there. And where they fall short is they say, okay, great, we've got a hot customer, great, I'll send you a quote and moving on. And they don't know what the customer has to do to actually evaluate a deal. And so I want to talk to you next about the evaluation plan. I'm going to switch screens here. In this email, you're going to get a download that enables you to access this, make a copy of it if you wish, and use it in your organization. I didn't make up the evaluation plan. This has been in solution selling for absolutely years. But what I do with this is I utilize it, and I've utilized it for so long that it has helped me win so many deals over the years. I've used it for probably 15 plus years. And when I teach this, some reps will take this and run with it. And the ones that do close deals when they say they're going to close them, the forecasting gets to be super laser. You're happy, your investors are happy because you're actually meeting forecast expectations. So by doing this, you're going to ask the customer at the end of the, you both say, gosh, this would be a great partnership. What's next? That's a perfect time to say, how do you, what are your expectations for the evaluation, Mr. and Mrs. Customer? What is your success criteria as you make evaluations of my software, my product, my tech solution, whatever it is, right? And then you get to say, awesome, let me take a few notes here. Open up a spreadsheet, just because it's easier to organize this on a spreadsheet. Say, okay, what are the next steps? You kind of agree, okay, we did discovery today, we're going to do a demo, we're going to quote. Maybe the client wants to gather some other quotes, whatever their process is, right? We don't want to be threatened by that. It's okay. Like, that's their process, right? And we're going to say, maybe they have a selection committee, whatever it is, right? You get it. All of these activities, we want to line them up in a list. Then we want to say, this is the client's responsibility, mark that. If it's a vendor responsibility, or you have some sort of participation in it as a vendor, awesome, mark it as such. If it's a no-go point, meaning if it's a point where either party, remember you're both equals, you both get to decide if you're in this deal or not. If it's a no-go point, then mark that. This is super powerful because your client is going to look at that going, oh yeah, like the vendor actually gets to say no to us too. It's a whole different paradigm shift. And they're like, oh, that's right, they can say no to us. So make sure you have something in here where it's like you get a no-go point, and you can even identify like, this is my XYZ's company decision point, right? Is this partnership worth it to our company? It may or may not be. Make sure you have dates associated with it. And then what I do, because we don't want them going in and editing this unless you want to pass it by them to edit if you have a very complex deal. But if you have somewhat of a simple sales process, just copy and paste this into a body of an email. But it's super, super effective in communicating to the customer that you're forming a partnership. It's not just them asking you a bunch of stuff. It's not just you asking them a bunch of information. It's a true collaboration. And that's where it becomes really beautiful, and you develop long-term relationships. And you usually also, by stepping into this advisor role, build levels of deals that are the largest, ones that you've ever seen, the largest contract values, because people start to see you as a true partner and a collaborator, and the trust level is so high, they will literally be like, sure, where do I sign, right? And so if you take these little steps, I'm really excited if any of you take these steps, because I think you're going to have a really good Q2. And I think you're going to be able to really just blow out your forecast, but be accurate with it so that it's not a surprise at the end of the quarter. We'll see you next week for another tip. Have a great day.